this is a new era, bringing it all together, getting your right mind, we grind, we do it forever, that's the only mission. Elevated thinking, it's a vision. Yeah, I'ma keep moving if this don't hit. You can't stop me when I hop aboard the spaceship. Sit and watch as I make shit. I am not a human, I'm a living constellation.
Superiorly rude.
I hate when I do that, and I do that a lot. Like, I'll like make the post. I'm like, oh, good, the post is up. And then I'm like,
Forget to tag
I
all.
didn't tag
I
anybody.
tag Crispy. Like,
Me too, and then I hate that. Ugh.
I know, I always love it too, because he's done it to me where he'll comment, oh, no photo cred? And you're like, sorry.
I've done it, and then
Respectfully so. Sorry.
I was gonna say I've like posted in my story and then texted and been like, I forgot to tag you. I'm not doing it again. I'm sorry. I'll add you to the next one.
Yeah, it's because it's such a process. Because then you gotta. I usually will, you gotta go back in. You gotta copy the caption. But then if it's one of those posts, like especially for the podcast, where I'm already tagging like 5+ people.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what Instagram needs to do? They need to have a default setting where it automatically tags certain people. Like if you want if you want specific people to tag, you should just be able to do that. Instead of me literally typing J Faith.
Every single
Kayla,
person.
Crispy.
L.Y.F.E.
Where's
this person? No, now I gotta back up.
Right. Did I get
you start
everybody?
typing their name and then you're like, they're not popping up, and then it's because they have like a different name, and yeah.
And I don't want to go back in to edit it when it's already posted, because then it disrupts the algorithm and people don't see it.
Mm-hmm.
It's wow, how tough it is to be this important,
Such a the tough life of influencers,
it's
right?
like so tough to be this important.
Influencers and creatives. Oh my God. Oh man. This is no bueno.
Like my back is hurting from carrying the weight of importance.
Yeah, my shoulder. I woke up with my shoulder blade feeling like trash.
What were you
like
doing?
tight, like on the.
Yeah, I also sound like I've been smoking like packs of Newports, and I don't know what's happening. So it's good for us. It's November.
Right.
November in New England, everybody.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, hon, how you doing? I'm like, oh my God, that's me? Hey, sugar. Like,
Welcome to the Right Mind Wednesdays podcast, where we
Like,
make
literally.
connections through conversations.
hey, hon, you got a butt? Like,
Oh,
that's
yeah, I
literally
used to
how I
love
feel like I sound.
Yeah. Oh, I
I'm
used to
sorry,
get that.
this is taking forever to post. It's
Yo, can I bum one? Dude, do I look like... Well, not
What?
that there's a specific look. Specific look for smoking. No, I used to get people all the time, oh, can I bum one of you? Dude, do I look like I smoke?
I've just always been told that I sound like a smoker. Like, I've been told, like, from a very young age, like, oh, you have a smoker's voice. Oh, you have, like, this, like, raspy voice. I like it.
Tall as fuck. What the hell?
What?
I'm looking at the.
Random size.
You are very tall.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know that.
That I'm tall?
Yeah.
I had no clue.
Well, I mean, it's, it's...
November 20th, 2024.
Actually, that is hilarious, because I was just looking at that video
Life
footage.
realizes.
Maybe I grew like an extra
How-
foot.
Yeah, you next to Jay's mom is actually hysterical.
Oh, boy, yeah.
The boxing's working.
That's hilarious. Yeah, it's like...
Yeah, it's like my brothers. My brother.
Yeah, in that picture with you are all like literally look like the Men in Black.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like brother Jay.
Literally. They're all at least probably 6'2" and up.
Yeah, because you're not a short dude. Like, I don't think you're a short dude. It's just funny because, like, well, your brothers
When
are
you're
just
around
so
them,
tall,
it's
right?
you're...
Dude, my dad, so the Schenk men, like, my dad's 6'3", all his brothers, like, the tallest brother's 6'5". So, like, all of them are so tall. So
My dad was 6'6".
when I was a kid, though,
I'm like, what the hell?
put me on your shoulders. Uppy, uppy. It was the best.
Yeah.
Like, let me
can see
get up
everything.
there. You're so tall. I mean, there's a part of me as an adult that I still want to be like, uppy, uppy, because I still can't see that far, but like, whatever.
Up.
Yeah, I'm like, uppy.
Yeah, I know. I look back, I'm like, man, I couldn't have got 6 feet. Like, just if I was 6 feet, basketball or track would have been
Shouldn't we be grateful for
In-
what God has given us?
the car. I am grateful. I still look at that 36-year-old who's still running track, and I wonder what I'm doing with my life.
Good for
But
her. I mean, at that point, I'm like, you know what? If you can do it.
and still almost peak perform. Just crazy. Yeah, that's a good show. Sprint on Netflix is a very good show. I do not like Noah Lyles, though.
What?
I do not like him.
I love Noah.
I don't like him. Watching the show made me not like him.
Is he too cocky?
Way too cocky. For me, personally. And the whole thing that he said about
too
the
cocky in the 100-meter, or like, you know, I mean,
the 100's not his. The 100's not. He does 100 now.
well, yeah, but he did the 200. He used to do the 200.
Yeah, he was a beast in the 200. But yeah, I don't know. To me, for me, he's just way too cocky.
I mean, that's
For
the
me.
type of like attitude or demeanor that I'm immediately gonna deflect. I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just something about it, and I mean, and the comment that he made about the NBA, which I was like, dude.
Listen, this is all new news to me. I don't even know who we're talking about.
So he made a comment. This was last year. He made a comment along the lines of, "I don't get how the NBA, the team that wins the championship, can say that they are world champions when they're only winning in America,
Oh yeah.
whereas I am."
This is the world.
Yeah, where it's me and like I verse everybody from the world, blah 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 blah.
Valid point, but put yourself on a higher horse, huh? Like,
But I look at it in the sense of the NBA is literally, for the most part, consistent of like the top players in the world.
And there's international players that, you know.
That's what I'm saying.
oh, true. Okay, I do get what you're saying.
They seek to play, like even international players seek to play in the NBA. And then when it comes like Olympic time, they're like, I'm going back to my home country because I'm going to represent my country.
Yeah.
Cool. Whatever. But yeah, it's just he's just like, oh, like, I don't get how you're world champions. It's like, I mean, they kind of are. Because you're playing against the best of the best, if you will. Not necessarily
that's
like
true.
country specific. But I don't know. I think the NBA is like the premier league. You know, it's
I
the
would think
premier
it's the best
league.
of the best.
Yeah. Like, because again, I don't say this in a bad way. It's like if like L.Y.F.E or I were to like consistently play basketball and be good, we could play overseas. NBA might be a little different, but the overseas play would be more accessible.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
Which I was like, man, I could have done that too, but it's neither. I never really saw that as an avenue. You know, and now it's like would need a lot of coaching. But I'm also 36. That's like you're almost out of your prime of.
I mean, as much as I don't necessarily like regret anything, and I say that because like I do truly believe that even if like one step was out of order, you wouldn't necessarily be where you are presently. So, you know, I do believe that. But like when I do look back at my youth, I'm like, oh girl, I wish you like, oh, why didn't you stick with this? Or like, oh, you should have like just either done some research or like tried out for this or just like mostly when I think of like acting and like certain experiences that I could have had at a younger age, like I'm like, damn, I wish I either like stayed in school and like transferred maybe to like a school that like theater was known for. You're like Middlesex Community College is not known for their theater.
Right.
They have a great theater department, don't get me wrong. They put on a damn good show, but it's not like everyone's like, oh, let's flood to the city of Lowell to go to Middlesex. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I wish I went to like, or checked out some more prestigious theater schools in
Right.
that sense.
Yeah. Like I mean, wish in hindsight is always beautiful. I wish I had more confidence in myself when it came to track. In the sense of after my college career, continuing to figure it out and like push forward, because I think I phased out my senior year between like injuries and just hitting my peak my junior year. Like I couldn't break past the ceiling. There was just this ceiling that I just could not pass. And I don't know if it was just lack of motivation or expectation that I was just going to naturally continue to grow, because it's like my junior year, I've reached this high. Cool. It's only up from here.
Yeah.
But didn't.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, just injuries. It was like, where do I go?
Yeah.
You know, what do I do? Where it's like, you know, I look back now and I know the causes for the continuous injury with my Achilles could have been treated, could treat it better. And so I'm like, man, like, could I have had it? You know, those type of things. Or playing soccer. I look at, we had the Revolution come to my job, and there was a guy who was like 5'7" on the New England Revolution. And I was like, dude, I should have just went to Riviere and played soccer. And I, you know, would have got better, played defense, made it to the MLS.
Yeah. Like, there's so many things I'm like, why did I quit taking singing lessons when I did? Why didn't I do more in musical theater? Like, why? You know what it is? I think, to your point, like, kind of how you just mentioned, like, having more confidence. Like, I mean, at that age, when you're so young and you're really based in your insecurities at that point. You know, like, you're so deep in them. So at that point, like, I didn't actually realize the talent that I was blessed with. I knew that I was talented, but at that point, I didn't know exactly what I had to bring to the table. Obviously, now at the age that we're at, it's easier to know, like, exactly what you're bringing to the table and what you're not, too, because what you don't bring to the table is also important, because like it also makes what you do bring to the table stand out more, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I guess I wish I had a little bit more of a grasp on, you know, like
more guidance. Like, you probably needed somebody to be like, yes, you need to be here, I have these connections, you need to be here.
Right.
I didn't have the coaches to be like, you need to be in this elite camp to get this
Yeah.
exposure. Or else I probably would have, if I like worked hard enough, and I know I would have, I probably would have played Division I. Division II basketball.
Yeah.
yeah.
I think that's part of it for me too. And this is no knock to my track coaches in college. I had some amazing coaches. I love every single one of them, and I appreciate everything that they did for me, even just down to the recruitment piece of even recruiting me from high school, because you didn't have to. The struggle that I had, as we're just literally sitting here talking about it, that was different from me in high school when it came to basketball, just basketball, like we talked off camera. The team didn't care. We weren't in a great league, so it was hard to really stand out. Was when I wasn't doing well, they would back off. Whereas the kids that were still doing well, they were like, hey, let's put our time in. Hey, come on, let's go. Like, let's do it.
Would like pick and choose like who they wanted to invest their time in.
Yeah, well,
It felt like favoritism.
yeah. It was just like, if you were doing well, they were looking at you. But if you weren't, they were just like, all right, here, go do this workout, and like, let's see if you can. Let's see if you can get better. Like, we'll give you the workouts for you to work on, but like, we're not gonna really like. There wasn't like the push and the motivation to be like, hey, like, we know what you can do. Go after it. Whereas my basketball coach in high school, this is something that I still teach to my kids. We'd be practicing or whatever, and he would always be yelling at me and saying, dude, like, let's go, get up, start running, whatever, would just push and push and push. And I knew how much better that made me as a player. And it pushed me into things that I thought I couldn't do that I was able to do. And so it was like, that's what made me better as a player, and that's what motivates me to be a player. But like with track, I didn't get the same response. In a sense where, you know, you start slacking, it's, you know, come on, but not in that same kind of arena. But at this point, it's like, I just miss being an athlete. I miss the training. Like, I watch those shows. Like, I watch Sprint. I watch Last Chance U, or, you know,
Ali.
Ali or the starting five, you know, and you're seeing them training and you're seeing all the treatment that they're getting, and treatment meaning like the physical training stuff, you know, not the, oh, I'm a celebrity and, you know, everybody's kissing your butt. Yeah. But the, you know, just the treatment, it's like, man, like I miss doing those things, you know, and I'll practice at work and I'll shoot around and like, I'll really be like super self-conscious about my form and shooting and everything. And I'm just like, what am I training for? Like, I wish, you know, I wish there was a league that I could be a part of, or again, so still just to be able to play, like something to train for.
Yeah.
Like, I miss that.
I miss like, well, especially because I've taken a break for a couple of years, but now I'm like getting the itch. Like I miss performing. I miss being in a show. I miss being a part of a cast. I miss, and especially after, because I mean, this year has been one of the hardest years I've experienced in a very long time. And a common theme of it is not really feeling comfortable because you're in unknown territory, right? So like unknown territory is always going to be somewhat uncomfortable. Is there growth there? Of course. So whatever, it is what it is.
Yeah. Sorry.
But I think one thing that I truly miss is like being in an environment where I'm like, oh my God, like I actually know what's going on here. Like I trust myself. I'm not questioning anything. Like, you know, you're working like at your full potential. Like you're just, yeah, like things are just going great. Or like you just feel so comfortable in that environment because you know it like the back of your hand. So maybe it's just a mix of like missing that feeling of like, oh, I'm capable. I know what I'm doing here. Like this is the arena where I truly know what I'm doing. I miss that. And then just being able to make people feel feelings, I guess. I mean, one of my favorite things about performing and theater in general is being able to take people on that ride, right? That's like however long it is, whether it's 90 or 120 minutes, whatever, like you're taking someone on an emotional journey, and that's it's a big responsibility. It's a beautiful one too. And I think I just miss that. I miss that, like, I think you'll get this, like just that on stage connection, because it's just a different form of connecting with someone, and it's just really powerful, you know?
Yeah, when you get that, those people who are jumping up with you or hyped with you and stuff, like it's hard to see it, you know, whether it's, you know, even like with the podcast too, music, when, you know, you put a song out, you know, it's streaming or the podcast is streaming, you don't get to see necessarily the feedback from people when they're listening to it. Where, you know, obviously I listen to podcasts too, and there's moments where I'm listening to it, I'm like, man, that's super dope. Oh, that's crazy. What? You know, or like a couple tears, you know, start coming down. You're like, man, that's such a crazy story. You know, you don't get to feel that on this side,
Right.
you know, from people. And that's where, you know, it gets tough, you know. And that's why I love performing, because then you get to just really see people in front and be like, cool.
And like see them like respond in real time, and like, and you get to feel their energy and they get to feel your energy at the same time.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, like obviously being able to stream things and being able to have certain platforms is a blessing, right? Because you get to reach so many people at once. But then again, like with live performances, it's like it's just magic, you know?
Yeah, nothing beats in person. That's why like when we have the guests, it's like I would rather talk to you face to face.
Absolutely. I've always been an in-person type of person, like even down to like the most casual transactions. Like if I have to go to the bank, I'm probably going to do things in person. Or like if I have to like go sign up for something, like, yeah, I get that online is convenient. I feel like I'm kind of old school in that way. I don't know. I might get that from my mom. But
See, I'm the opposite. Like, if I can do it online, I'm all over online.
it depends on what it is, but like especially for like granted, I know like yeah, you apply to jobs online, but like if I can somehow check it out before or like get myself in there to like see how things are, then I I don't know, I just prefer like in person stuff.
Yeah.
Actually, that being said, and I know this might be like I think the kids call it a hot take.
Yeah.
What the kids?
I don't know if that's the thing now, but definitely heard it.
Yeah, I actually don't think I like working from home. I think I kind of hate it. So, but I don't know if it's because of the type of work I was doing from home.
Right.
So, like when I was working at the call center, some of your shifts could be from home. So, I actually kind of hated that though, because I look at my home as my sacred space. So then when you're getting calls that were not awesome,
Yeah.
and they're in your home, you almost feel like there's, oh my God, I just leaked to myself. You almost feel like there's no separation between
Yeah.
like the chaos and your sacred place. With that being said, I think that was most likely just the role that I was playing. Obviously, maybe in this new job that I just took, I wouldn't mind, banging out some computer stuff at home.
Right.
But, yeah, like.
But that's what they say too about when you're trying to be creative. Sometimes you have to take yourself into a space that is creative versus one that may be chaotic, even if there's no chaos that's happening, but just in a general sense, there's chaos that happens in that room. Like we'll say like upstairs, like in the living room, it's just chaotic. There's TVs playing, it's the living room. There's TV playing, kids are running around, dogs running around, dogs barking, whatever. You're like, man, I can't think. So it's like when you try to, construction outside, but and you're trying to write, it just like mentally, it's hard for you to focus because that just atmosphere is just it's just ingrained in you. But then like you come down here and you're like, oh, okay,
Right.
it's quieter, it's soundproof. Like this is my space. Oh, okay, I have a little bit more freedom when it comes to just being able to write, be creative.
Yeah, like get in that creative space.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah. But yeah, if I could do things online, I'm all over it. Appointments. Like I hate when like hey, book your appointment online. All right, cool. Hey, can you call us to confirm your appointment? No. I don't want to.
That type of, oh yeah, I forgot. You don't talk unless there's a microphone in front of you.
Which is weird to me. I don't like it either.
I really don't.
And I don't like it. It's a weird thing.
Hello, yes, Dr. Johnson. Yes.
I know, he like pulls the microphone out. He's got to call his doctor. He's like, hello.
That should be a skit we do.
Yeah.
It should be a skit we do.
Like,
but it's weird though, and I don't like it because I don't want it to be one of those things where it's like, oh, you can only do it when there is a mic in front of you to have that platform and like your voice be heard type of thing.
wait, so listeners probably won't know that about you because all they ever hear is you talking. So listeners, which camera am I looking at? This man does not speak unless there's a microphone. Like, I cannot stress that. This is a real thing. This is a truth. And I actually, it's funny.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, as your friend, I'm like, oh, it's cute and funny. It's Jay Faith's thing. I do get your point, though, so I'm sorry to, like, make a joke out of it.
No, you're good.
I do get what you're saying, though. Like,
it's weird. Yeah. It's like I like it and then I don't like it because it's like I come on the pod and I can have full-on conversations. But take me to a show and just talk to people, not until I'm performing. It's like I do the job. It's more like I do the job and then once the job is done, like I don't. Yeah. I guess you could say disassociate myself.
I feel like it's for you. It's
not in a bad way.
I mean, being a man of few words isn't a bad thing.
Yeah.
I think it's, you're just selective of where you put your energy. And I don't think that's a bad thing either. Like, I actually think that's really smart.
Just, like, blurt out anything that's on your mind.
Yeah, well, that's like and that's probably why I don't like Noah Lyles. Because he does that. And
he's the
track runner that we were talking about. Because he does that, and then I think it was the guy from Britain. What the heck? I forget his name. But he was saying the same thing. He's like, dude, I don't... He's like, I'm super quiet. He's like, I'm just here. Like the press conferences, like no one's like, hey, look at me. La, 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 la.
Beef with it with his teammates too.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'll smoke you in this, blah, 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 whatever. You know what I mean? Just,
I don't like that kind of personality.
And like he was just getting into the 100 at the start of that show, and he was like, yeah, like I'm gonna smoke these fools and yada yada yada. And they're all like, dude, you're new to this. Yeah, you run the 200, which is still a sprint, but like this is ours.
Come in with some respect.
Yeah. It's kind of like one of those things. Like, yeah, they're like one of the premier sprinting events because it's like literally like the fastest people in the world. But they're like, dude, just because you're 100 meters off, chill out.
Is his
This is
cockiness
totally a thing.
unfounded though, or is he?
I mean, he's
does
good.
He actually have the skills to back it up. Okay.
He's good.
Not saying that it's not obnoxious. I'm just
Yeah.
wondering because it's funny when somebody's that cocky and then you're like, dude, what are you?
Yeah. I mean, I did laugh when he didn't win the Olympics, but that's neither here nor there. But he did.
when Bron James came to the NBA. But, you know.
Yeah, right. Well, he's in the G League now, so
Yeah.
rightfully so.
What is a G League?
That is the NBA's minor league.
Oh, it sounds
Yeah.
like a G League, yo. Like, what
Yeah.
is that? It's the G League.
Yeah, it's literally their minor league. So
Love that. I
Yeah.
need a hat that says
yeah,
the G League.
the G League.
I like
yeah.
that.
Yeah, it's literally their minor league. So like it. No, I don't think their players are drafted
No.
for the G League, but it's
I mean, sometimes these teams draft to,
probably further
put
in.
them there to develop and then, bring them up.
Maybe you
But,
could
like, if
get
they
in
don't
the
make
G
the NBA, then you can, get in the G League and stuff like that.
It's like people way at the back of the draft
I'm like, maybe you and that knee.
or undrafted, and you try out. I'm telling you, if I got the right training, I think I would be fine.
Do you make money on these leagues? Like the
Yeah, you still get paid.
Okay.
Like there's some of the players last year that were in the G League that actually got bumped to the bench for the Celtics. Like they got a ring.
How much are you making though?
I mean, not the same as like Jason Tatum.
Well, obviously not, but like what like are you making like 40, 50 grand a year? Like what are you making 90? Like what do we think?
Just Google.
Like, what, 500,000 at the most?
40, 50 grand, she says. I don't know.
Let's find out. Let's fact check.
I don't
this
know.
real quick.
I clearly don't have.
Yeah, I'm not versed in it either, so don't.
If we're fact checking, does that mean we're rolling?
Shut up.
Yes, 20
Hello there.
G League salary. G League salary. Let's see.
G League. I'm like, do they make 40 grand? That's literally poverty level, Kayla.
Ooh,
What?
40,
Was I right?
40.5
Was I right?
thousand. Yeah,
She was right.
flat base salary with no minimum or no maximum. Dang. I think I almost make the same as a G Leaguer.
You could be in the G League.
I'd still be perfectly fine struggling.
Yeah, you could struggle just as much, only be playing a sport that you like.
Like, you ready
I
for
mean-
the NBA? Nah, I'm good.
But yeah, some of those players, I forget their names, but there was a couple that I used to see in the G League, and they got to. But it's like one of those. It's tough for me sometimes because those players literally. Well, no, they did get some playing time, but it's like if you look at their season stat line, it's like NBA 2024 season, 5 minutes of playing time for the whole season. That's 82 games. With
What are you just sitting there resting on
they
your laurels?
literally just sit there.
But I mean, you get a paycheck.
And you get a ring for it, which is crazy. That I don't know. That I don't want to say it confuses me. I get it. Like you need the roster, but it's like, I don't know. It's like you gotta
Hey, if you strive for mediocrity, sounds
get
like
a
it's
ring.
a pretty great deal.
right. It's like I did just enough. I did just enough to sit at the end of the bench.
Yeah, like I mean,
And I
there's-
got a ring.
There's a place for everybody in the race.
Yeah.
You know, if you're comfortable with that, I mean, that sounds like a pretty sweet deal. 40 grand and a
Right.
big old ring. You can probably
NBA championship underneath your belt. Like that's crazy. Imagine
Yeah.
like, yo, I won an NBA championship.
From doing nothing.
And I sat on
Right,
the bench the
literally.
whole
Do you know,
time.
he probably like slays a ton of girls with that ring. Like, hey,
What you know about it? Yeah,
Right?
yo.
I got 5 minutes of playing time. Oh, last game? No, all season.
I know.
You're like,
You're like in 82
I
games.
got engaged.
yeah.
Right.
But it's like, what, 48? No, I'm trying to math. 12 times 4. 48 minutes. 48-minute games. These guys get like 2 minutes a game. If the team is up. But they got to be up by like 30, too.
Whoa.
Yeah. But I mean, the Celtics were doing a pretty good job of getting up by like 30, and they were throwing the bench in. But it's like to get to that point.
I'm like, we have a bench that is good enough to start.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, Porzingis is in the G League now.
What? Oh, yes.
Well, it's to get him building back up.
Yeah.
It's to build him back up because he's been injured. Well, he had this. Well, not injured. He had surgery, so they're trying to like build him back up.
Oh my God, imagine that pay cut.
Oh, I don't think he got a pay cut.
Oh, okay. It's just
I think they're just trying to like slowly get him back in the swing of things and not. Which fortunately they haven't needed him. They're still doing good. I mean, they just beat the Cavs. It's cool. Because the Cavs were undefeated. But anyways, yeah. That's the G League. And now Kayla wants a hat.
I do. I'd like a hat, and I mean, I could warm that bench.
Listen, a ring is a ring.
Don't send me anywhere. I'm happy to not play. Like, I'll just warm the bench.
Don't put me in. I don't want that pressure.
Like, I will be emotionally support you. I'll cheer for you while you're on.
Get your water.
Yeah, what do you need? You need a towel? You want some Gatorade? Actually, Gatorade's not that good for you, but like, what do you want?
There was like a controversy I saw with the Gatorade.
Gatorade's actually
That like a lot of
awful for
players won't drink it
you.
or
It
support
doesn't
it.
actually hydrate you.
It doesn't.
There was like something.
So-
There's like
It's
something.
damn good though.
Yeah, but there was like something in it, or
Yeah,
what they
it's-
do with the NBA's Gatorade or whatever. But
What do you mean?
I don't know. Something I saw. But like Kyrie, like when he does interviews, like they'll have like a Gatorade product. He'll take it off the table, put it underneath. He's like, I don't.
Maybe it's like an ethics. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. I forget the logic behind it, but I was like, huh, that's interesting. I wonder. I'll have to look it up again.
If you can
Fact
guess what it
check.
is, put it in the comments.
Yeah,
I know, right? Let us
right.
know.
Let us know what's Kyrie's beef with. Or there's a few players that do it. I think Durant does it too. Kevin Durant does it too. He'll take it right off. Probably. He's like, I'm not sponsored by them. 'Cause
Right. Like, yeah, I get that.
who knows? Whatever. You want to get into these top fives?
Yeah, we can do that.
Or not top fives, but
I was literally just thinking, I'm like, man, the time is flying, dude. We're at Thanksgiving. Yeah, this episode drops for Thanksgiving.
Yep.
Like, wow.
Also, let us know what you guys are thankful for. You know, our top 5 songs are based off of like, you know, songs that make us feel thankful and just make us feel good as a whole.
yeah. Thankful, grateful, just for whatever it may be. And we'll share that. But yeah, share some of your top 5. I'll do this too, like we did the last time.
Oh, we're just going around
Share.
for each one.
But I'll share the send me your song lists after too, so we can
That's what I
share
do right
with
now.
the peoples. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it's airdropping.
You want to go first?
Oh, we're airdrop buddies.
So my first one is drum roll, please.
That was a good drum roll.
Reckless Love by Corey Ansbury.
Oh, that's such a good song.
Oh yeah, I'm
Especially
stupid.
the
Hello.
Go ahead.
The version with Tori Kelly as well.
Oh
Yeah. Oh my.
Freaking amazing.
Tori Kelly can
And like that's
sing.
gotten me through some like really tough times too. The first time I heard it with like him and Tori Kelly. I
Did you lose it?
burst out crying,
Yeah, I get it.
It's crazy.
And at that time I needed it.
No, I respect that.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy to understand that God will leave 99 people to get the one to make sure that everybody's good. I'm like,
I think I'm actually like finally
99.
like I think just that idea is now finally like sinking in. And I remember the first time it started to sink in, it was in church during worship, and I forget what song it was, but it like the idea hit me, and I immediately started crying because I was like, and it's a feeling that I'm sure you can relate to, but like you just can't describe in words of like,
It just happens.
wow. Like I'm starting to get it. I can't say I fully get it because I know that there are still things that, you know, God's revealing to me, and like I know that there's a deeper level to that, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm like just touching the surface. But either way, it's like so overwhelming in a good way. That's a great song right
Yeah.
It's like God senses like the weight of what you're going through, and then like he just like comes down and just like graces you with his presence, and like it all hits at the same time.
Yeah.
And the fact too, like we are so unworthy of anything, but like we're enough because we're his children. And he's like, no, like everybody's coming. Everybody's coming that's willing. You know what I mean? Because there are those people that are going to run away. But it's like if you just get lost, you just lose your way. He's like, no, I'm coming for you.
I think like a big thing, and sorry ahead of time if I get emotional.
You're good.
But I think a big thing for me that made me realize, or like that I realized this year in church again, is like how, you know how like if you look at a baby or like a toddler or any child really, and you can look at them and you'd be like, oh my God, they're so beautiful, how innocent, how sweet, like, and you just want to like love and nurture them. And something, it hit me when I was looking at, it was literally like all in a nanosecond, right? It was, she's that sweet little girl at church, and she like doesn't talk, and her hair's always up, and she has glasses, and she's always in the front at worship, and she like hugs me and Ashley. I'll point her out to you next time.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, she's just very sweet, very quiet, and she always gives us a hug. And I remember looking at her during the music and be like, what a sweet little innocent angel baby. And then it hit me. I was like, oh my gosh, that's how God looks at us. That's exactly how he sees us.
Yeah, 100%.
And it just hit me of like everything in this life that has happened that has somehow caused me to believe that I am like damaged or not good or not good enough or broken or somehow like not good enough for God's love or attention. I don't know where that idea comes from, but it's there.
I think it's within ourselves, but go ahead.
It's like, oh wow, he actually doesn't see us like that at all. And it was just like this huge moment of like, wow, that's really cool.
Yeah.
The thing that I came across that really stuck out to me is probably like my favorite thing that I've seen throughout the week on Instagram is that like there's this message that says like very soon God will show you why he made you wait. You know, with certain things that happen, like it's just like a pause in the action. It's like something greater is gonna happen. You know what I mean?
I believe that.
That's why it says, you know, we have to wait. We have to wait on the Lord. Be patient and just wait. Offer what it is that you need to offer up and just let him handle it. It's just not always going to be on our time because his time is perfect.
Yeah.
And that's the struggle that we deal with is like we want it now or we want it right away. And it's like the timing of it will be at such a beautiful moment that you're just going to be like, man, it couldn't have been more perfect in that timing because everything is mapped out and laid out perfectly to the T of how it should be. Versus if we tried to rush it, it may not be as successful or it may not look as beautiful as it could be.
Yeah.
You know? But to your point, it's like, I think the guilt in us, which is from the enemy, because he wants us to feel guilty about the things that we do, our sins.
And shame is guilt's best friend.
Right.
So,
and that's where we're just like, man, we are unworthy because we're wretched people. That's just a fact. But it's like, God is trying to say like, I know who you are already. I've seen who you are.
like, hi, I made you.
Yeah. I knew your name before you were even in the womb. And I still love you. I knew what was going to happen. I still love you. I knew what you were going to do even before you did it. And I still love you. And it's like, for us, we're just like, no, we're horrible people. And it's like getting past that guilt and just being like, no, he really does, despite the fact of how unworthy I am. And it's like tough. It's definitely tough for sure.
It's just like it's just a cool thing to like, because hindsight's always 2020, right? Like it always is. So to see how, and life, you might relate to this also as an adoptee. And oh yeah, November is National Adoptee Awareness Month. Not the point of this, but still, I think it's to know, or how about this? Like to see God's plan play out for my life is just, it's like overwhelming. Like I want to be like, oh, it's really cool, but like that word doesn't describe the half of it. It's like just to see God's plan from my life. I'm like, so far, I'm like, oh wow, like that's incredible. Like what, I know I don't deserve that, or like I know you have had your hands on my life the whole entire time, even when I refuse to give you glory, even when I refuse to acknowledge you. I think that's also the biggest part of like, there were so many years of my life where I was like, well, if you existed, you wouldn't let me go through this. It's like such an immature way to look at love and relationships, right? Because you think if someone loves you, they're going to do everything nice for you, but you don't realize that not everything nice is actually good for you. So if someone really loves you, they're not going to do those things just because you want them, because maybe in the end it's not actually good for you. So it's just kind of like an immature way to view things.
Yeah.
But just kind of stepping back now, it's like, oh, like it's, I think to realize how small you are in such a big world, I think is humbling in a very good way.
Yeah, for sure.
Like in the best kind of way. It's like, it's like I am I'm just one of millions of creations that you've created, right? And it's like, but you still paid so much attention to me, and you still made my plan so intricate. Thank you.
Right.
And continue to, by the way.
Yeah. It's like, not to keep going on a tangent, but, and this isn't one of my songs, but it was a song that Ashley had sent me a while back. It's called, I believe it's called Generations. Generations, and then The Blessing. And the song starts off with the verse, and I'm paraphrasing, God is speaking to Abraham, and Abraham is saying, God is saying, you will be the, father of all nations. You will, for eternity, basically, for generation to generation. He's like, dude, how am I going to be the father of a generation? I have no kids. Like, what do you want me to do? And he's, the heir to my existence is like one of my slaves, like one of my servants. And he's like, no, he's like, I'm going to give you children. He's like, I'm gonna give you children. And mind you, Abraham was like 80 something, 90 something years old, and he's having children. So, and he's like, if you look up at the stars in the sky, if you can count them, that will be the number of children that you have, like generations to generations. And it really got me thinking of like, yo, I am part of a promise that came like thousands of years ago. Like I am part of that promise. Like I'm here. I'm physically here. And like, and I love looking at the stars. And like I looked up and I was like, yo, they're real. One, obviously, there's a lot of stars up there.
You can't count them.
And then two, I was just like, man, like to think like I was in the plan and I was part of that somebody else's promise, a promise that they don't get to see. So, and in another way, it's like there's some promises that we may not see. And I'm not saying like, we'll pass and then, things will happen. And that could happen very well. But also just like thinking of it from like a podcast stand or like a music stand, like there could be people that we reach, or even performing. There could be people that we reach that we never hear their response, but they're still touched by what has been said or performed or sung. And so it's like that's, kind of that motivation of just like, man, like I'm just part of a promise that thousands of years ago.
Yeah, it's like, it's just incredible to realize.
Yeah. I'm like, man. And again, it makes you take a step back and just be like, I'm just a small speck on such a much greater thing.
Right.
You're like, dude, you're one of those itty bitty little stars up there.
I love that feeling, right? Because in everyday life, it's so easy to get wrapped up in our own crap, because that's all we
Big
know
facts.
is our
Yeah.
own crap, our own world, our own perception of everything going on. So then when you have that moment of like, oh, thank God I'm not as big as I am in my head. You know what I mean? Or like,
Yeah.
does that make any sense?
Mm-hmm.
Or like, yeah, it's just nice to feel small. And like,
Right.
for a second, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh,
No, I get you.
it's the reminder of like, there are millions of people out there, and there are probably a lot that are facing very similar things to you, or feeling very similar emotions, or like, I love those moments of like, oh, thank you for like basically like getting me out of my own head and reminding me that.
Or just worse. Like people that have it worse. It's like, we, not to put it out there, like helping at the shelter, you're just like, man, like, oh man, I'm having struggles with, and I'm saying this for both of us. It's like, I'm struggling with bills or this, that, and the third. And then you're just like, and then you go do something like that and you're like, I need to shut up in a sense. You know what I mean? Like, just those, at least for me, like those things, I'm like, I really need to shut up.
I think like, then I think I've said this to you before. Like, the way that I look at the people that we serve at the Transitional Living Center is like, dude, there's not much difference between you and I. There really isn't. And if there is, it might have been one or two choices. And
Yeah.
I'm not saying one was better or
Big
one
facts.
was worse, but there really isn't that much that separates us. We're both human beings. We're both going through it. We both know what it feels like to face different adversities. Are you all right? Life, are you okay? Are you okay, life?
I couldn't help but to think, I'm like, I should have, I have like a built-in straw. I'm like, oh.
Went straight into it.
He was like,
how far are we in here?
You need to mark that. What I caught like a little bit from the corner of my eye. I just caught like a.
Nice.
I'm trying to put the water back in my mouth.
He's like, no. Too late.
Get back in there.
No, straw.
Choices were made. But choices, yeah.
Yeah, like it makes me. Or how about this? I've never understood how people can treat. I hate to say them, but I could never understand how people would treat that demographic of people differently. I just can't, because it's like or with less respect.
Yeah.
If
I agree.
anything, I'm not saying that one person deserves more respect than the other, but what I am saying is maybe they deserve some more mindfulness. Because
Yeah,
it's
for
like,
sure.
dude, their circumstances aren't great. So whereas, let's say like, or if you're a housed individual, we'll say that your baseline starts at 0, because some of your basic needs are already met at the beginning of the day. These people are not starting at 0. They
Right.
might be at -5. They
Right.
might be at -25. We don't know.
Right. And they may only make it to like -10.
Right.
They may not make it to even 0.
It's
your baseline.
Exactly. And it's
Yeah.
like, it's all, everything's on a different scale, right? So I always love being able to, if I can just make someone smile. Because the way that I feel is, yeah, I'll talk to you about Jesus. I may not be as well versed yet, because like I'm still getting to know certain things. Like I'm still like a baby on my faith journey. But I can definitely, like, if you want to talk about Jesus, if you want to talk about God, like, yeah, I can definitely talk about that with you. I may not be able to like quote scripture yet, but I also feel like I can show you kindness. I can show you love. I can show you Jesus through my kindness and
Yeah,
love. You know
that's
what I
what I was
mean?
gonna say, yeah,
Like through how
that's-
my heart operates, I can show you Jesus.
Right.
I may not be able to quote it yet, but like, I think that don't know where I was going. Sorry. I just think being there it's some of my favorite time, honestly. I do look forward to going there.
Yeah.
And I look forward to connecting with the people and seeing them smile.
Yeah. And just appreciative that somebody sees them.
Like that lady that came up to us after, she like made a point to come up to the window and be like, oh, the food was so good. Oh, I love the pasta. She was just wicked cute lady. And I just thought that was so nice. And like to see how appreciative people are. And she wasn't the only one. A lot of people came up and was like, thank you so much.
Yeah.
The food was so good. God bless you guys. And yeah, there was this like little hotshot blonde lady like in the wheelchair. I loved her. She had like her little fake eyelashes on. She was cute. She was wicked cute. And she was also like so thankful. And just for the word, for the food, like it was really cool to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it puts things in perspective for you of like, if anything, it's like, it makes me feel kind of not alone because no matter what, it's like everyone is struggling.
Yeah, in some way, shape, or form.
Every single person is struggling. Your
Whether
circumstances might be different, but like,
or whether it's shown or not. Like,
Yeah.
you know, because you can not have a home, but there's internally, like, you are just not there at all. You know, and that can feel just as harsh as not having a home.
right,
You know, in
exactly,
the same
exactly.
kind of principle. So,
I get that. I feel like it's just totally from an emotional standpoint. Like if we just realize we're really more connected than we're not.
for sure. 100%. 100%. It's literally that, like, probably less than 7 degrees of separation.
Oh, way.
Type of thing. You know what I mean? Like you were saying, there's not much that separates.
There really isn't. Like we're all human beings with like wants, needs, dreams. Like nobody wakes up and says, you know what?
Yeah.
I can't wait to be homeless.
Yeah.
Like nobody dream, like it just happens.
Right.
And it's unfortunate. Nobody wakes up and says, you know what? I want to be when I'm an adult. I want to be an addict. No one does that. Like
Right.
it just
Yeah.
happens, and then you know we deal with it. But yeah.
I got you.
Anywho, what's your number?
You
One
you
or
want me to
five
go
or
or do you want to
whatever.
go?
Okay, you can go.
This is in no, I didn't really put these in any particular order. So my first one is going to be, it's called Mercy by Elevation Worship and Maverick City, featuring Chris Brown. Not the Chris Brown on the pop charts and stuff like
That's
that.
funny because I always wondered. I was like, it doesn't sound like Chris Brown.
When I think that was the first song that I saw, and I was like, yo, Chris Brown's a Christian artist now. I was like, yo, it's dope. Let's
thought
go.
that too.
And I was like, no, it's not.
I thought
But
that
that's-
too. I was like, oh, I'm happy he found Jesus.
yeah, same. But yeah, mercy, you know, it just talks about God's mercy and just how grateful, you know, and I'm kind of quote unquote speaking for the singer, which I mean, I feel the same way, but just speaking about how just like grateful he is for God's mercy. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for his mercy. Again, it kind of touches on what we just talked about a little earlier, not to dive back deep into it, but just how, you know, we're sinful people, you know, we're wretched people, we don't deserve it, but like he still loves us enough to show us mercy. Every day that we wake up, God's mercy is new every single day. And it's just like, man, like every breath that I take, that's like mercy from God. Because again, you fall asleep and go any night.
Right, you don't know.
And you just never know. Like crazier things have happened. Like something just happens within your body and peace out. And it's like, dude, every single day. It's a new mercy. It's a new opportunity. You don't do it by yourself. It's literally God. It's God waking you up every single day, putting breath in your lungs and waking you up every single day. So it just puts into perspective, like, dude, take every single day, do the best that you can, serve God in the best way that you can, and just be appreciative of it and don't take it for granted. Because it could be gone. There's people that don't get to wake up anymore. And you're just like... So I am grateful for God's mercy over my life.
That's a great song. The first one I have on my list is, and I don't think I'm going to pronounce this correctly, but I've been like deep in my like all Korea everything era. So I found a Korean worship group that I'm like super pumped about. Might mispronounce his name. I think it's Agapao worship. It's AGAPAO worship, and they sing praise, which also Elevation Worship sings a song.
Okay.
So it's basically just a Korean worship group. Like the verses are in Korean, and then the hook is in English. And I mean, it's the same song, but the song talks about the importance of praise in any season, like praise being your go-to thing. I know as humans, it is very hard, and this is something that I have needed to, and I'm still working on teaching myself. I need my go-to to praise God. It doesn't matter if I'm crying because I'm devastated, or I'm scared, or I'm anxious, or like I'm having a panic attack. Like, it doesn't matter. I need my go-to to be, you know what, God? I praise you because I believe in you, and I know that you know what I'm going through, and I know that you're not going to let me sink. I know that. I'm just a little scared. Like, because I'm a human.
Amen.
Your girl's
Yeah.
a little scared. I'm a big crybaby, as you can see. So, like, that has been my number one thing for 2024 that I've been learning is, like, because my go-to is to, like, withdraw, like, while I'm processing, get real quiet. I'm not saying that I still don't do that, but I'm saying in the process of doing that, I'm remembering to bring it to God. Because I think we can also forget that, like, oh no, I can get very specific with my prayers. I can go to him always for everything. It doesn't just need to be something that I think is important, or I think that God's going to think this is. That's not how it works.
Right.
Like,
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Be as specific as you possibly can.
Right. And it's really cool to see how when I got real specific with my prayers, he got real specific with his answers. So glory to God. And this is one of my number one songs that makes me feel grateful.
Yeah. And for anybody that's listening to, like Kayla said, be specific with your prayers. Like, it, even for me, sometimes, like, I feel so stupid, and like I'm like, oh God, this is like stupid. This is dumb for me for asking. Like, why do I need to ask? But it's like, those are the things that he wants to hear. That he wants to hear it. Like, I'll give you an example, and maybe this is a quick testimony for me to share with people. And again, for some it may sound like something so silly or just like on such a surface level of a testimony type of thing, but like, I've asked God, like, because I have obviously have allergies and stuff. I think I've shared this with you. I have allergies, and I was tired of taking medication because every time I took medication, it would just get worse. And then when I would stop taking it, even for a day, my allergies would just fire off. Like, I'm miserable.
God,
the
it's
worst.
almost like worse than if you, yeah.
Yeah, stuffed up nose, eyes watering everywhere, just feeling like I just need to curl up in a ball and not deal with the world at all. So I said, Lord, like, and then especially with music, you know, you get your dry throat, all that stuff is like, dude, I can't perform. Like, what the heck? I can't breathe. So I was like, Lord, I said, yeah, oh, it's the worst. So I said, Lord, yeah. I said, Lord, I'm asking for your healing hands. I said, healing hands in my nose, like specifics. Again, I'm like, dude, it sounds so stupid.
Oh God, I need to do that on my back.
I'm like, healing hands in my nose, in my throat, in my chest, in my lungs. I was like, I was specific. And I said, I want to not have to take medication anymore for these allergies. Very specific. I don't want to take any more. And part of this was on me too, because I have to stop taking the medication. I have to trust that he is going to do what he's going to do.
If
so I
you're
said,
asking,
got to do it.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's kind of part of the equation. I can't keep taking it and then being like, God, heal me. Yeah, but you're still taking the medication, you idiot.
Buddy.
So what do? I stopped taking the medication. And I said, Lord, I trust you. Heal me, everything. That was 4-5 months ago. What are we? November, January? Yeah, 4 or 5, maybe 6 months ago since I've taken allergy medication. And I have not gotten sick. since.
I need to do that.
I and again, I've shared this with you too. Have I had like, maybe some raspy voice, maybe a little stuffy nose? Yeah. But not to the point where it's debilitating,
Yeah,
where I can't function. But I also think that is there so that I remember where he took me from. Because my logic is, I think that he keeps it there so that, because if he were to just completely remove it, then I would forget the blessing that he gave me. And then I'd just be like, all right, peace. I can sing now. I can rap. No allergies. Cool. Whatever. I'm good. And never look back and never be thankful ever again.
Because you took it for granted.
Because I took it for granted. And I'm like, you know what? If this is what it's going to be like, I'll deal with this. Thank you. Glory to you. Let's keep it moving. But also every day I wake up and, I try to, some days I forget, but I try to like really reel it back in. Thank you for taking care of my health. Thank you for keeping these allergies clear, because I got to remember that this wasn't me. This was him.
Yeah.
Because again, there were times when I would stop taking it. I'd go outside, I'd go for a run, dust, allergies, stuff at work, dry air.
Yeah.
I am dead. On the floor.
I get it.
I've been cutting the grass. I've been leaf blowing. I've been going out for runs. I've been at my job. Nothing. Be specific with everything.
I'm about to be very specific with that. I sleep with my window a crack open and I wake up the next morning and I like can't even breathe. I'm like, hello.
Yeah. Be specific.
Also, I saw something on allergy medicine that terrified me. They were like, if you take allergy medicine or if you've taken allergy medicine for a long time, like you're at a higher risk to have dementia. I'm like, you know what? Everything in my brain is setting me up to have higher risk for like dementia or Alzheimer's. I'm like, you know what? It was nice to know, y'all.
Right.
Like one day,
Because I'm not going to remember you.
one day, I'm not even going to remember myself, and hopefully y'all can just be around and remind me of something. I don't know.
For sure.
Throw me in the loony bin. I'm just kidding. Nobody says the loony bin anymore. Life, what's your next
Number
song?
4. Or just song number 2.
Number 9. No, I'm kidding.
Mambo number 5.
Dare You to Move by Switchfoot.
Oh, that's a great song.
Super dope song.
That's a great
Good song.
song.
Yeah. It's just a song that makes me feel energetic. Just vibes, you know what I mean?
I forgot about that. I'm happy you brought that
Dare
up.
You to move.
Yeah,
Classic.
that was actually in the A Walk to Remember. Do you remember that movie with Mandy Moore? And I think it was, I forget
Yeah,
the
she
male
was
lead.
sick. Yeah.
Yeah, that was on that soundtrack because I remember that's how I discovered Switchfoot, and I actually liked them.
Yeah.
I thought they were a great band.
Yeah.
And that's a great song.
My turn, right?
Yes, you do.
So my second song kind of goes with what I was literally just talking about. It's called Gratitude by Brandon Lake. I like the live version versus the studio version better. But basically, it's just being grateful. It's just being, appreciative of everything that God has done. And he's like, I love the chorus because he's like, I throw up my hands, praise you again and again. I don't have much for a king, but all that I have is a hallelujah. It's all I can give you. I have nothing that can match everything that you have done for me. All I can give you is my praise. All I can give you is my worship. It's the best that I can do. And it's true. That's, all that we can do is our praise, our worship, and our obedience. And that was something that Pastor had said that really struck me, is that there is nothing that we can give to God that he doesn't already have, because he gave it to us. The only thing that he doesn't have is our obedience, because we have to give that to him.
Oh, and that's something I struggle with.
We have to be obedient. If we're not obedient, he doesn't have that.
That's I'm happy that you said that, because I've been thinking about obedience, obviously, more so lately, and like making steps forward and then backsliding, and then making steps forward and backsliding.
It's tough.
But that has been a theme that has been on my mind. I know, placed on my heart. So I'm happy that you brought that up.
Amen.
My
Numero
song
dos.
is Elevation Worship Graves into Gardens.
Oh yeah.
This
What was it?
song makes
Dun,
me.
dun, dun, dun.
Oh my! As soon as I hear like the opening chords or beginning notes or whatever, I'm like, up here we go. Somebody get the tissues because it's gonna be waterworks.
Yeah.
Just so the opening lines are: I searched the world, but it couldn't fill me. Man's empty praise and treasures that fade are never enough. So like to me, that just resonates so hard. Of like you're searching the world for everything you think you're gonna find, but you're never gonna find it in the world because what you're looking for is actually with God. It's God that you're looking for. So it reminds me of being on different like paths in my life of just searching. You're looking for answers. Sometimes you may not even know what you're looking for. You're just looking, and you're looking in all the wrong places, and you get involved with the wrong crowds of people, and yeah, and it's okay because it's all part of life's lessons and you learn. And this song reminds me of God's goodness, and that in turn makes me grateful because it's like, I am so thankful that there is nothing in this world that I could do that you will not forgive me for because I ask that of you. Like, how big is that? Like, I just need to ask you for your forgiveness and you're going to forgive me. Like, that's huge. It's almost like you can't, like, it's like does not compute, you know? So I think once I realized that, it's like, yeah, you know that God's a forgiving God, you have his forgiveness, but sometimes it takes a little bit for that to like actually sink in. Sometimes I think I'm still like processing that because again, it's something that we don't deserve, so you almost can't believe that you have it type of deal.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just I love this song because it reminds me that God truly can and will turn your ashes into beauty, and he will use the bad for good. And like I've seen that in my own life. I've seen it in other people's lives. There's only so many times you can see it before you don't question it anymore. So yeah, it's one of my favorite songs.
Yeah. And just like there's no matter how far down you've gone, like you can still come out of it. When pathways seem like they're impossible, he'll make a way.
Yeah, like
I've turned graves into gardens, seas into highways. Parting of obviously it's more of a reference to the Red Sea, but it's like he made something that was completely impossible to people possible.
Yeah.
He made a way. So it's like God will make a way, and it doesn't matter how far you've gone.
I think
He'll
for me, it hit so hard because the darkness can get really dark, right? So you almost think that like, and it's an irrational thought while you're having it, but it doesn't mean it doesn't come into your head though, right?
100%.
So you're like, oh my God, I'm so down. I am so not okay. Like, what am I gonna do? And then it's like, no, not what am I gonna do? What are you gonna do?
Right.
And thank you for that, because I think it really was this year that I realized a lot about God, and like there is no depth you can reach that he will not get you from. Like
Scripture says it.
there is something just that computed in my brain this year where I was like, wow. Wow, you do that.
You can make your bed in hell, and there I will find you. You can make your bed in heaven, and there I will find you.
Yeah, like it's
paraphrasing, but
it's just it makes you know the meaning of being awestruck. If that makes sense.
So in awe of you.
Yeah, that's a great song too.
Número 3.
Número 3.
See,
I was pulling up lyrics. I was not
me too.
being rude.
I don't know.
I like
Life's
that. I like that.
probably
I like the
texting.
lyric thing.
I'm just kidding, Life. Sorry, that was so rude. I'm like, Life's probably texting. You are.
How rude.
I mean, I actually got a text from God saying, give me your worries and go to sleep.
I love that.
I mean, it's true.
I love
give
that.
him all, I mean, that's, what I thought of, like in the terms of what we're talking about. and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
absolutely.
Worries to God, and he'll take care of it.
But God, if I didn't have anxiety and insomnia, how would I know I was like alive?
Yeah, that's what Pastor was talking about yesterday at Bible study. He was like, you got to give it to him and then leave it alone.
And then like actually not micromanage him.
Yeah, and just leave it alone. Trust that he has it. Stop dwelling on it.
That's hard for me.
Oh, 100%. 100%. I'm right
That
there with you.
is so hard because I want to be like, here you go, and then I want to be like, but
You done yet?
do you got it? Or hey, this is just a courtesy confirmation call. You got that, right?
Yeah.
This is Kayla Schenk. You can call me back. Okay, thanks, bye. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
obnoxious.
What you got?
No, what up, today's the Chris Brown with you.
With you?
With you.
Classic.
Oh my god, I love that song so much.
Yeah.
Classic.
Like you never wanna ever forget the feeling you feel, with somebody, you love, your partner, or just like anybody you love, like.
It's a beautiful feeling.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Whether it be family or.
I'm such a sap. I'm like, yes, I get
Big
that.
facts.
Yeah.
Just yeah. I love that feeling. And I love that song too. Like immediately when I think of that song, it's just like giddy happiness. It's just a feel good song. I remember when Chris Brown first dropped, I was like,
I went nuts. I went crazy.
you and me
Song was
both,
fire.
man. You and Methuen and me and Lil Lol. I was
heard
like,
about it, I'm like, all right, cool, yeah. And then he comes on with that. I was on the bus,
Yeah.
the radio was going. I'm like,
right? You're like,
yeah.
and
I
then
need to learn that on guitar.
right, and then you're like, oh my god, and he's like close to our age. Like,
Yeah, that too.
I'll never forget the second run it dropped. I was like, "Who is that?" And then, With You was great. I forget his other single.
Joel,
off that.
and I
That
was
a
big
good
into
album. I still
Joel's.
listen to it.
And I was big into Joel Santana too back in the day.
Joel's.
I was a huge Dipset.
Yeah, I definitely-
Dipset.
Love Dipset.
Yeah.
I was a Dipset girl because I
Perfect
loved
song.
Joel Santana.
Yeah.
Still do.
And even if you lost
go
love,
ahead.
you want to revert back to that song just to,
Of course.
just to feel something,
Of course, yeah. Remember,
Just appreciate the good
happiness
times.
and the good times.
Yeah, big facts. Appreciate it.
It's
You gotta
something that
appreciate
you're always
it.
going to experience during life. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
something you'll always come back to. So I can get that.
Yeah. Yeah, even if it is a breakup, it doesn't mean that you didn't have good moments that you can cherish. It's not like, oh, we broke up, so I can't remember the good time. I can't have it. Granted, it is hard because you're like, oh, you broke my heart, but we had some really good moments, but I don't want to remember them because it reminds me that we broke up. But at the same time, those were happy moments in your life. You know what I mean?
Right. I actually think it's important to, at a certain amount of time, because especially with my past relationships, because I've been with my man now for we've been official for almost a year, and then together for almost 2. So it's now plenty of time has passed from my past relationships, where in my most recent past relationship before my man now, it's it took me some time to obviously get over and heal, because it does anytime. But now I can really look back and be wow, thank you for some of those moments, because I know that they were so pivotal in my life. Certain experiences that I had, I know I wouldn't be the same without. Or even we'll take it back, even before that, same thing. It's oh well, you look back and you're it's not that you're a bad person.
Yeah.
We had great times and we learned so much together, funny times, or certain laughs that you'll never forget. You know? It's
100%. Number 3 song is called 10K by KB. It was one of my birthday anthems a couple years back, but the hook, just to give a little bit of context, I got a God that don't change with the season, 10,000 reasons I can believe in, God's so good, say less, I'm breathing, 10,000. So there's 10,000 reasons that we can be grateful to God. So it's you can't run out of reason. You really can't run out of reasons to be grateful for God. And again, just be grateful that you woke up every single day, and just say less, I'm breathing, I'm here. That's thankful to you, man. He doesn't change. He is always faithful, so you can always trust in that too. We as people, we can flip flop and jump backwards and do all these different things and 180s and all these other things, but God is always consistent. God is always faithful. He doesn't change, and you can always trust in that. So
that's a great song. I like KB. You put me on to
it's my ringtone now, so it's cool. It gets me
Oh my
hyped
god, I
every
haven't
time.
had a song as a ringtone since
Hold
10,000.
I'm like, I can't. Oh
put it
my
back.
God.
I used to have Joe Budden, and then I just changed it.
I don't even remember. Wow.
I had
My
Share.
my first voicemail back in the day was like,
Oof.
"Yo, my name was Lewis and I'm tall and black.
I
Just leave your
love
name and
you.
number and I'll call you back."
yeah.
Like, I love you so much. Can
But
you?
then I had to change it because sometimes my coaches would call and they'd be like, "Damn, they heard that. I know that."
Can we do like an
Pitching on the phone for the
updated?
podcast.
Yeah, I think we need to do like an updated remix of this voicemail
Yeah.
message for you.
It's the Right Mind podcast. Leave a message and we'll call back.
Actually, don't.
Let me tell you how I pictured it.
Yeah, this is what I had before. Which I love that song.
Copyright. I'm just kidding. I like that song too.
Hey. Yeah, we talked through it, so this way it's
I like
fine.
that.
Yeah.
It's in my gym playlist.
Yeah.
I like that song
Just
a lot.
fire.
It's super hype.
Super hyped.
Actually, I think I sent it to Chris.
Super dope. Numero tres.
Mine is Upper Room, Champion of the World. Or it's called Emmanuel. And
Champion
then
of the world.
Every heart belongs to you.
Yeah.
That's also a song that I'm like, ah! In church. Like, literally, like, you just turn around and I'm like, ah! Like, just ugly crying. Because, like, it talks about the same thing. Like,
Yeah.
you what is it? You conquer the thief that stole our hearts.
Yeah, it conquers the world.
Yeah,
it conquers
like, it
everything,
just-
and he will.
Yeah. It basically talks about God did everything. He can do everything and anything. Like, hi, everything belongs to you for a reason. Thank you. He went from knocking him over to fixing him.
Right? Look at that.
Wow.
Growth moments.
We love the progress.
Right?
Yes. we love you.
25.
Let's
We
go.
love this. This is a great way to, cruise into 2025. Fix them
I
mics.
know how it works now.
But yeah, so that song, it just reminds you of the creator and his job and exactly how great that is.
Amen.
And if I could only stop micromanaging this man. Yeah.
I feel that. 4.
Man.
Almost done.
Numero 4, por favor.
See?
If it means a lot to you by a day to remember.
Hmm.
And
I never-
hey, darling, I hope you're good tonight.
This sounds like it's like high school emo punk in the good way though.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm like?
Yeah.
I feel like I would love
Post-hardcore
that.
stuff. Yeah.
Oh, I would love that.
I played it on. I should perform it sometime.
You
man.
should.
You
sound
should
good.
do it.
Guitar with like B snare and stuff like that. Yo, B snare. If you
Yo, what up,
we,
B?
We gotta learn if it means a lot to you by it.
Shout out to B Snare. He's really doing his thing.
He is.
And he's a wicked nice person.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes me very happy.
But, this is once again a song you can sing to the ladies.
Slay him. Yeah, I know I would love that song.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah, I'm going to have to check that out. I've never heard of that. I know a day to remember, but I don't. The song is not clicking. Not that your lyrics are bad. It's just not clicking.
The way you sang it sounded awful. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
I know.
I'm kidding. You should do a cover of that. That would be really good.
Yeah.
You got one?
So my number 4 song is called Start Over. It's by Flame, and it features NF. So the hook goes, everybody's got a blank page, a story they're writing today, a wall that they're climbing. You can carry the past on your shoulders or you can start over. Regrets, no matter what you're going through, Jesus, he gave it all to save you. He carried the cross on his shoulders so you could start over. So, I mean, for me, it's just, it's just having that ability. Like if you do just, you fall, you stumble, just knowing that, Jesus did die on the cross for our sins, so that we could be forgiven. Because before it was a little bit tougher of a process to be forgiven. But, this is something that, we now have access to be able to just be completely kind of free, free of our sins. And part of the verse, thinking thinking, how can God forgive me after knowing what I did, after knowing that I hid from him and I stayed away and backslid? Jesus came for the sick. Jesus came for the weak. Jesus came to give good news and to set the captives free. Jesus came for the poor. He came with the keys. Jesus came to remove the chains so the prisoners are released.
Love that.
So,
Amen.
where, some of us are still, we can be, still chained to some past things. And, it can be tough to really break those chains, but that's when you really just have to kind of just give it to God and just say, Lord, like, I want to break these chains. I don't want them anymore. And please, take these chains away.
Love that. That's something I'm also
how
learning.
like when you have something in the hand and like someone wants it and it's like, give it to me,
Mm-hmm.
and like you want to hold on to it, but like, you have to. That's literally the same thing.
Yeah,
I feel like there are certain things I still got like one like finger on. You know what I mean? It's just like, girl, let it go.
Mm-hmm.
You're just almost like, but I don't know how. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
That's like what I was. Yeah, it was like the hoarders thing that I mentioned at the shelter.
That made me laugh because I've seen people do it.
Yeah, we try to hold on to things, and God's like, give me that.
Like, what are you doing?
Because like it's like we try to hold on to like a peanut, and God's like, I have cake for you. He's like, why are you holding on to the peanut? But I have sentimental value to it. Oh, I love the peanut. He's like, I have a pecan pie for you. Let go. I have something better. But we're like, no, but the peanut.
It's because we can see it.
Yeah.
It's because we know it.
Yeah.
We're already familiar with it.
He won't. Yeah, that's the part. That's part of the struggle. It's like, it's not that we necessarily know what he's gonna give us. We know that it'll be something better. We just don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But because we can't see it, we're like,
I know.
Avoid until
Yeah.
that thing comes and it's an uncomfortable feeling.
right,
I
or
know.
just the waiting period. But
I've
yeah.
literally been like, God, I'm wicked uncomfortable. And then I'm like, oh my God, Kayla, why are you like yelling? Like, reel it back. Like,
turn
he-
it down
Like,
a
he
notch.
knows, girl.
No one around. Like,
I know, who are you yelling
It's
at?
just you. It's just you and God. That's it.
I'll be like, I'm sorry. And he's like, what a mess you are, girl.
damn it, no.
I know.
4?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good.
This is all of my songs are worship songs, but I mean or most of them are, but I think naturally worship songs make you feel grateful. This one is more so on like the Afrobeat tip. This one's called Lord and Savior. It's by an artist named Sam Rivera. And then another one, I don't know if it's Limo Blaze or Limo Blaze. Either way, it's LIMOBLAZE. Great song. Just basically talking about how, yeah, God is the greatest. He is the person that's gonna save you, clean you up. Doesn't matter what it's from. Like, as you can tell, there's a theme in all of my songs. I think it's because this year we're realizing, wow, he really is the greatest. And if anyone is, if anyone's gonna help you, it's gonna be your creator.
Yeah.
So basically, it just talks about that. Talks about he left the 99 for you. You know, just saying, just kind of. It's almost like learning your role and your identity, really, like in Christ, through Christ, like learning your relationship with God and like how, like what that really is versus what you thought it was, type deal. Yeah.
Amen.
But I like that it's like kind of Afrobeat and like kind of a vibe.
Yeah.
Because you can like vibe out, but like still praise.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And I'm not like openly weeping, so it's great.
Number 5. Oh,
We here.
let's get the snaps going, people. Come on. Ooh. Oceans by
Ooh.
Hillsong.
Yeah.
That song really, really gets me going.
Yeah, it really is a beautiful song, and it doesn't matter if they've really played it to death on reels. It will always hit.
And like it doesn't matter if you don't know the song. Like you're by the end of it, you're gonna really know every single word. And you feel it.
It's really it's powerful. They
Yeah.
actually sang that this past Sunday at service.
Did they?
I thought so.
I must have been.
Or was it? Or it might have been the Sunday before. Well, whatever. I watched it on my TV because I was like having a moment of like, that's so cool. Everyone's on my TV. I'm so corny. Well, I obviously because I'm my back is always a mess, but I tweaked my back bartending, and then so the next day I was like, oh shoot. But it's awesome because you can watch live service, and I usually watch it on my phone. But I was like, you know what? I got this nice big TV now. Thank you, J Faith. I'm going to watch my friends on my TV.
There you go.
And that was cool.
Of course, like, the best part of the song is, Spirit, lead me where my trust is without borders. Let me walk upon the waters, wherever you would call me. Take me deeper than my feet could ever wander, and my faith will be made stronger in the presence of my Savior. That cannot be more true. So powerful.
Yeah, that's
My pastor said, you got to dive deeper. And like, I think around that time is when I first heard that song, and I was like, okay, now it makes sense.
yeah.
Like, you have to trust, like, he's like, go out into the deep. He's like, you have to go out deeper. He's like, you're still in the shallow end.
Yeah.
He's like, you have to go out deeper. He's like, but you have to trust that you'll be fine.
I love that lyric where my trust is without borders because you think of how many times you're like, yeah, I put my trust in that, but there's always parameters. So it's almost like you don't know how to let go.
Do you really have, is it the
Right, do you
faith
actually
is
trust?
bigger? Yeah.
So it's
I feels it.
And, like, when you really connect with the song, like, it makes you feel like his face is right here. Extending his hands right here.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like Peter when Jesus was walking in the water. And he walks out, and obviously, he's like, come out to me. Walks and then freaks out because the ocean's all around him, and he's like, when he starts sinking, and Jesus is like, dude, where's your faith, man?
Yeah.
Like, I'm here. I'm with you.
I know he's like, I'm literally right in front of you, man.
Hello.
Hello.
It's like, okay, come here. Yeah, welcome to the G League.
Right. Well, the one that got me,
Real G League.
yeah, it was a similar funny story. I'll say it after we get off. Remind me. There was another story. They were on the boat, and Jesus was literally underneath the boat, but he was like below deck, sleeping, and there was a storm, and everybody's freaking out. Like, oh, where's Jesus? Wow, freaking out, storm, gonna get capsized. And mind you, Jesus is just sleeping downstairs, and he's like, so then they finally like go and like wake him up. And like at first I was just like, oh, they got Jesus, whatever, but then like as it was more explained to me, it's like, dude, even in our biggest storms, like Jesus is with us and Jesus is calm, and it's like there's no need to freak out, because if Jesus is able to sleep in a storm, so can you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, don't be afraid of the storm,
Yeah.
type of deal. Because then he came up and he literally silenced the storm. So it's like, just trust that he's there with you, and just move through the storm, and trust that he'll silence it. All right, let's get through these last two.
These are great. Like, this is
Yeah, I love this.
great top 5 here.
Yeah, we'll definitely share these. So my last one, is called "Holes" by L.Y.F.E. This is actually one of the first songs that I heard from him, and again, give you a little context, the hook. So, you are my fulfillment, you are my fulfillment, you are my fulfillment. Holes in your hands for the holes in my heart. So just, being grateful for, again, we've all gone through a lot of different things, and we try to fill those holes with just unnecessary things. Useless things, temporary things that we think are supposed to be there forever, and until we realize that they just get plucked out again, and then we're left with a hole, or even a bigger hole.
Yeah.
And it's like the only thing that can fill that hole is Jesus. It's the only thing. So yeah, that's just kind of just being appreciative that, like, just trying to get more of Jesus in my life, for sure.
Yeah, I hear that.
Still working on that too. But hey, here we are. Numero 5. That's you.
Oh,
No, I
me?
already-
Sorry.
Last up.
Stevie Ray, Grateful. So I'm pretty sure. Hold on. I know everybody knows this song. It's like. Oh, hold on 1 second. Let me just get to the chorus.
I feel like I have.
Yeah, a lot of people use it on Reels. I actually love this artist. So this was a couple, like 2 to 3 years ago now, because this was before I was in the apartment that I'm in now. I found this artist. He's blown up now, but he was just making his way up on social media. And it was cool to watch him go from like, not making enough from his music to sustain a lifestyle to now he does, and he's like super famous, so it's like really cool. But that song came about in my life. It just talks about being really grateful for everything you have, for being able to see the things that you prayed for coming true in front of your eyes. Just being grateful and thankful for all the moments that brought you there. So I found this artist around the time when I had just applied for the apartment that I had. And it was a really long process, and it was just a test of faith. And that was like the beginning steps of me. Again, this was a few years ago. This was before I got back to church. Actually, that summer is when I got that handout from somebody on the street team from our church.
Yeah.
So I think
remember
that's
talking
really
about
cool. It's like that was always in the plan too. But yeah, that was just a testament to me learning, like, you're really micromanaging when you ask God for things, Kayla. You want to like let him do his thing. Like it'd be cool if you just let it be.
Yeah.
Or if you say that you have faith, you should exercise that
Yeah.
instead of just saying it. Like it was the beginning steps of me, just like walking down that path. And obviously I got the apartment and I got in there and I'm still there, and it's been one of my biggest blessings. And I thank God for it every day, because I'm so thankful. Like I still can't believe that I'm there. Like, and it will be the start of the 3rd year there. So it's just that artist reminds me of like a really cool in between time in my life, and that song reminds me of just that little sweet spot of like, oh wow, like let me be grateful for the blessings that I can see in front of my eyes, and also for the ones that I have faith are coming true, and they came true.
Amen. Super dope. Dude, I love this segment. We got to do more of these.
Yeah, I like this too.
I like this. This is super
We
cool.
need to do a Christmas music one. Obviously, when it's more appropriate timing.
Yeah, exactly.
Jingle Bell Rock. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
This guy.
Well, on
Listen,
November
whatever.
29th, we can start with the Christmas spirit.
No, we can start now.
I started October 14th, so I.
And this is the Right One Wednesday podcast. We'll catch you next time. Click.
Listen, there's no stopping me this year. I was like, listen, this year has been so testing and so trying. If I want to live in a little bit of delusion in this pagan holiday, let your girl live a little bit.
For moi, after Halloween is when I like to.
It's fair game, right?
Yeah.
So, and I respect your opinion. I have the opinion that I just don't understand why you can't eat turkey at the table and have the Christmas tree up at the same time. I get what you're saying. Okay, every time, whatever. Like, it needs its own place, have its own time to shine, but like.
Yep.
Okay. Your opinion sucks.
Whatever.
I'm just kidding.
It's up for New Year's, so 2 holidays in one. There you go.
Okay. When do you take the tree down? Are you like a January 2nd that baby's coming down?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
3, 2, 1.
Happy New Year.
I know, literally.
Yeah.
Where's Jay? Oh, he's taking the tree down.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Oh, what a sad life.
Nope. It's a happy life.
When would you take the tree down?
Whenever the freak I want.
Well, how much it took
Whenever
to put
he
it
gets
up?
to it.
This thing's staying up all freaking year.
Usually it stays up until like April.
Okay.
Dang.
So you clearly don't have a real tree. And that's okay.
I don't have a. I mean, I don't have a actual one.
No, neither do I. I have I have a fake tree.
I have a fake tree too.
I'd rather it be that way. I'm not,
Yeah.
picking up pine needles.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
no,
with
most
real trees, they don't. I mean, obviously, you wouldn't be able to have it that long. It's gonna have no needles left. They need so much water, and then there's pine needles everywhere. So, I mean, while I do love a real tree, what I did is I have a fake tree thanks to my girl. Shout out to my girl. And I got the Glade plugins that you plug into your wall that smells like pine trees, and I just plugged it in next to my tree.
That is gas.
Like, you can very clearly tell that my tree is fake, but like I like the smell of it, so I was
Yeah.
like, you know what, I'm gonna get these little Glade plugins. They should sponsor me. I've been buying a lot of them. Seriously. But yeah, it works.
One day. Oh man.
This is where we stop and be like, "Do you like the smell of Christmas?"
I know, right? Like, hey,
Today's
have you been
episode.
looking for the scent of Christmas?
Today's episode is sponsored by.
Well, we haven't been sponsored by Palmer's yet, and I don't know why, because I use all of their products faithfully. I live by their shea butter lotion and their coconut body oil. I use their chapstick, I use their hair products. We need to be sponsored.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Big facts.
Absolutely.
Hashtag, what are you doing? Hashtag
2025 goals. Let's go.
Hashtag Merry Christmas.
Hashtag Merry Christmas to everyone but Jay. Oh wait, and
Until
Crispy
next week.
too. No, Crispy's in after. I believe he's in after Thanksgiving as well.
Yeah.
Because he
See,
has also shared with me that my Christmas spirit is a little too early.
it's a little
And it's
premature.
okay. I'm not saying it's not.
I know.
I'm aware. I'm just
You just don't care.
living in it.
Yeah.
I'm like, you can't tell me nothing. Like, don't come to my house.
I'm aware, but really don't care about Christmas trees up in the air.
Over
Fine.
See
there.
with the flare.
Jay's gonna come over and knock it over. Actually, my friend Denise the other day, she was just kidding. She's like, I'm going to your apartment. I'm knocking your Christmas tree over. I was like, okay.
Savage.
Going to fight me.
Yeah. But anyways.
What a way to wrap.
Yeah, it is a good way to wrap. In the comments, share. We'd love to hear what some of your favorite songs that make you feel grateful, make you feel thankful for this holiday season. Feel free to drop it. We'll share these in the description as well. The songs that we have shared.
You might hear your song on the show. That'd be cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I also want to know, when does your Christmas season start and end?
Yep. Drop that
Very
in the
interested
comments.
to know. I don't want to hear it if you think mine is ridiculous. I know it is.
Mm-hmm.
But I would like to hear when your Christmas season starts and ends.
Yep. Drop that in the comments. We appreciate everybody for tuning in. We want to say God bless as always. Appreciate everybody. Shout out to Crispy, who is not here. We miss you, but we know you're getting better. I'm excited. I know this will drop after. We got a show on Saturday, MOCG night, part 2.
Oh yeah, next pod we'll be talking about it.
Yep.
Concord, New Hampshire, Panucci's, 9
Panucci.
p.m. to midnight. Come see us.
Great
Get
show.
live.
Donate.
$1 cover.
Donate a canned good for a good cause. That's pretty much what I got. Just dropped a new single,
Yeah,
Break the Fall.
with V and D. That sounded bad.
Yes.
Vincent and D-Rock. Sorry.
Yes. Be sure to check it out. It's available everywhere. Appreciate all the support. Happy holidays, everybody. Hope you guys enjoy your Thanksgiving, which would be tomorrow. Hopefully, when you are cooking, you are rocking out to this podcast. and checking it out as you are cooking your beautiful meals. I hope everybody has a safe holiday and gets to spend time with their loved ones, with their families, whatever that may look like for you. But please don't celebrate it alone. Please, I pray that you are able to share with at least one person. But God bless to everybody. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Until next time, my name is Jay Faith. We got
It's your girl Kayla.
and this is the Right Mind Wednesdays podcast. We'll catch y'all next time. What's up?